This is the Skyler Jarvis Show!
What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Skyler Jarvis Show Season 2, everybody. And to kick start things, I've got two of my good friends here. My girl, Nuris Coronado.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be here.
My homie, Chase Shepard.
Hey, how y'all doing?
And today we're going to be talking about the Digital Advanced Player 2, also known as the DA2. We're going to be giving you our thoughts. We're going to be giving you our review after 5 or 6 months of having this thing. We want to give you our thoughts and what we think might work for you. And we highly encourage you to give your thoughts of the player if your library gets you one of them. I don't know where there's still... Some states are still in the rollout phase, so I don't know whether certain libraries aren't getting them until what point, but so we've been using this thing for 5 or 6 months, isn't it, Nuris, Chase?
Around there, yeah.
Yeah, around 5 or 6 months back in August.
Yeah, about 5 or 6 months with these things. We've had enough time to really review it and look at all the features, see what this thing is capable of, what are some pros, what are some cons, what are some things that should be worked on. And
Alright, y'all, I'll be right back.
Alright. So, personally for me and Nuris feel the same way about this, but when we first got our book players, the original DA1 book players back in 2009, she got hers in 2009, I got mine in 2010, but we were so hooked to those players. There's so many books I've read off of that thing, off the original player, and then I would put my flash drives, I would take songs, MP3 songs, and put them on a flash drive, and my player could play MP3s. And now this one plays M4As and a few more different audio formats. A few different other audio formats. I think it supports AAC, FLAC. I don't know if it supports FLAC. But
FLAC, yeah.
Yeah, it does support M4A and AAC. So those are some improvements. What are your thoughts of the DA2, Nuris?
Well, it's a very good player. I love how you can copy your cartridges from the cartridge to the device if you get some from the library. And also, I enjoy basically the capability also that you can play anything you want, including the books from the library. You can download it directly, or you have the option of that flash drive or cartridge, like I said. So everything is really good on it. And it's very amazing device.
Yeah. Me and Chase had been following this thing since 2016. I mean, we heard about it. We heard rumblings about a new player that was going to be able to connect to the internet. And we was like, oh my gosh, when they come out we want to get them, we want to test them out. Because, I mean, so many memories with the previous player, and just times I managed to use that thing for a decade after.
Yep.
And I still found ways to enjoy it. And this player, I will say, I think that it brings it to another level. Like,
yeah, it really does.
Imagine if we would have had the option of copying a cartridge straight to the player for you to listen to anytime you want. Back then, you had to listen to a book and then you had to send it back unless you could find a way to get it on a flash drive.
Right.
So.
And you were left wanting to have a book when you were like, oh man, I don't have the book anymore. I had to give it back to the library.
Yep.
And there's a lot of new things on this player as well, which I'm going to add to what I said. Like the fact of now you have a screen reader reading you the device prompts. And it also has a Spanish voice now as well, which is something that wasn't around back in 2009.
Right. I will say, I do like the text-to-speech voices, but I also like that. I've heard some people say that, it just uses a text-to-speech voice. I wish it would have actually kept the original. I agree with them. I agree with them.
Yeah, me too.
Like, he might not have been available or something. I don't know. But it would have been pretty nice to be able to at least have that as a selection. Like, you could use the text-to-speech voices, but you could also use that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly would vouch for that in an update, to be honest with you.
I agree.
And the Victor Stream 3 is same. Yeah, the Victor Stream 3 as well. Like, I don't even want to get into like my thoughts about the Victor Stream 3 because I still like it, but I think that there was a lot that could have been improved. You know, particularly as far as logging into NLS Bard goes. Now, for those of you guys who ask, well, why get one of these things if I can get it on my Victor or I can get it on my phone? And I think that's really the problem with promoting this thing is because a lot of people already I'll just use my phone. And people forget about the physical player. And it really upsets me, you know, like.
Yeah, me too.
For me, seeing the original NLS book player come out, like this was before smartphones and, you know, voiceover and stuff really took off on the phones. Seeing something like that NLS player blew our minds back then because, it's digital. It talks to you. You can read the user guide when you're listening, when you're anticipating other books that are coming through the mail. You can listen to the user guide and have something to listen to until you got another book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
the thrill of that, you know. And this is another reason why I run into problems with the Victor Stream 3. Because the DA2 proves that, like, you could just log your player into the system and you could download books straight from the site. You don't have to go through the website and register the player. It's already registered.
Yeah, that's another thing I was going to add. That now you don't have to register your device with this new player. You just log in and boom, you're there, you know. You can see everything. And including your previous downloads. It's not like Because, on the phone, you're limited to a certain amount, but on the player, you can see every download down to the first one you ever got.
Exactly. There's some benefits to having the app. Like, I still use my app in conjunction with the player. I don't use it as a replacement of the player. Say if I want to look something up a little bit faster than I would if I would have done it on the player, I'll use the app and put it in my wish list and then turn the player on, go to my wish list, and download the book. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
But
and people don't realize, too, this device will come in handy even for people that are older than we are or anyone that might need it,
I
It
honestly
works for
think
everybody.
it's good for everybody because it's not expressly said that you have to have Wi-Fi to use this player.
No.
Because they still have cartridges. None of that is going nowhere with this.
And it's good to have, both options available to you. So say if you don't have internet, you can use a cartridge or something to hear a book or download a book that way.
Oh,
Put it
yeah.
to your player.
And the internet is, when you first get your player, it's turned off.
Yep, it sure is.
Yep. So it doesn't come like, it's more of, okay, this feature is there. It can be used. It's an upgrade to our last player, but this feature is here for people who use the internet and wish to download books to their player. And they're, they advertised it, but they made it clear as well that this is a regular player just with built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and the ability to download books to the player. And one advantage I really think they did a great job on is being able to copy the cartridge to your player.
I agree on that. That was a very good job the library did on that.
Oh, yeah.
And also now, you don't have, here's the other thing is, now you don't have to worry about a plug being on the back of your player because the plug is it's a USB-C plug with a block on the end. So
I remember reeling them cords in the back of the player in. They had that with the cassette players as well.
Oh, yeah. And those things would short out, and then you're like, okay, this is broken. I got to send it back.
Yeah. Or your dog chewed through your wire. I've had that happen. Dog chewed through the wire of my first player. Gosh, I miss that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Man, these players, they bring back so many memories for us. See, for people like me, Nuris, and Chase, we grew up right before the smartphones really started to get popular and everybody started having one, and even blind people could get on voiceover and talk back. So the first player was birthed in that era. So having something that's up to speed and like you can connect to a Wi-Fi network. Everything nowadays has got to be connected to the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And at the same time, it's good to have that option where you don't have to be on the internet to hear a book. Because there's people that don't even do that. They're just like, okay, I just want to listen to a cartridge on the player and not worry about signing into the
There's certain companies that just don't get it right. Like, they say, oh, well, you can download the book, and then what do you know? You have to refresh it every so often on the internet to keep the books downloaded. And I'm like,
yeah,
no.
And speaking of cartridges and stuff, the very first cartridge I got with my player in 09 with the first player, I got the Complete Chronicles of Narnia book, and I'm always gonna associate my player or anything like that with that cartridge that I got
Oh,
back
yeah.
then.
For me, it was the Graffiti Mystery Damien Druth Super Sleuth. That was the first book I ever heard on it. And then Snake and Lizard, and then Martin Bridge and High Gear. So they would send these books to the school that I was at. And then like when I brought home the one that they gave for the school, and Mom liked it so much that she got one for the house, and I was so excited. I brought that thing everywhere.
Oh yeah, if you're like me, you'll be wanting to take your player everywhere you go. I mean, I'm like that. I like to use my device anywhere I'm at.
So, some issues we ran into on this player.
Yeah. One of them is the freezing when you have the flash drive in the player. It'll either freeze or not work, and same goes with the cartridge. And the other
Exactly.
one is that it'll drain your battery
If
you
you
have a
have
flash drive
music,
or
if you have a flash drive or cartridge with music, or really any cartridge, I've done it with library cartridges and it's done the same thing. The battery significantly drains when there's a cartridge in the player. I think that needs to be fixed. From anybody from NLS, if you're listening to this, this is a bug y'all got to address, because we love this device and we want more people to get into it.
Definitely.
What's your thoughts, Nuris?
I agree. This is something that needs to be repaired soon because, we haven't had an update for this device since November, and I think it's high time or September or one of those two.
Yeah,
But
September.
yeah, it's time for it to get an update.
And
But everything else works good. I mean, books download well, everything else like that. It's only that feature with
also overheating. I think there's some overheating issues.
Yeah, certain cords overheated on certain people's devices. Mine hasn't
Not the
had
cord,
that.
but the port.
Yeah, the port's overheated.
The port had overheated. My thing is, if a player says it won't harm the player to be plugged in at all times, it shouldn't be doing anything like that and overheating. Like, I would be putting a cord in it and it would get hot, and I would have to take that cord out. And I tried it with multiple cords, because you can plug the player up with a regular Type-C cord if you want to.
Right. I believe that's another factor that needs to be fixed.
And I don't know, it might just be their first batch and they might fix it later on. I don't know if it's a software bug or a hardware. I don't know. But whatever it is, I think that needs to be addressed, because it could be a safety hazard. If that port goes out or gets hot and starts heating up the cord and somebody is not there to check it, and it overheats and blow up or something. And nobody would want that.
No, they wouldn't. And my advice to people is, if you have one that does that,
Return
my
it.
advice would be
Return it and tell the library that is happening.
Or just don't leave your player plugged in, because you don't know when that can get warm or when it doesn't,
Right. Which I'm hoping they have fixed that already. because I felt so bad. Like, I only had my first player. I've already had to get a second one. And I haven't even had the DA2 for, like, since August. But that, I think the library should be very aware of. And seeing as the video I did for the DA2 got 1,000 views, see if we can get up there again with this one. But hopefully we could get more people aware of this situation.
Right.
It doesn't happen to everybody because, you know, as you've seen, Nuris and Chase have had theirs. Chase has had his since August, like me, and then Nuris has had hers since September. So their players did good on this. But if any of you guys are experiencing that, please tell your library about it and get this situation out there.
And return your device if it's having that issue.
And return your player and see if they have one left over, if they're still in that phase where they're just rolling them out.
Right.
Also, like Nuris said with the freezing cartridges, it really happens with cartridges with MP3 files and stuff on them. We get 16 gigabyte cartridges off of Amazon for this thing. They go through Perkins, and we get these cartridges to be able to play MP3 files without having to have a flash drive sticking out of the side of your player. You know, because we listen to music and, you know, read audiobooks that are MP3s.
Or if you're like me and you like to hear your TV shows in MP3, you can do that
yes.
too. So,
so
that's what I like doing.
Please, National Library Service, please fix that issue.
I agree, and I'm back, y'all.
What's up, Chase? Heck of an introduction, bro. So, we're talking about our what we think needs to be worked on.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the stuff for you? It's probably the same things we just discussed, but
the same thing, because I've heard, you know, I've been on the phone with Skyler, and he's called me. He's like, yeah, he had to send his book player back in, and I was like, really, bro? You know, you hadn't even had it 2 months, and it just starts.
A month. I hadn't even had it a month.
Yeah, he didn't even. It was like 2-3 weeks. He goes to plug it in. That thing's heating up. You could practically cook a fried egg on that joke. But,
yeah, and they didn't believe me at first. They thought I was talking the cord, and I was like, no, the port is messed up. Like, it doesn't look like this. And I was so hurt. Like, I had enjoyed that thing. I took it everywhere with me and listening to books that I hadn't listened to in years and getting into it. I really enjoyed it.
Shout out to Clay that did help him. Shout out, brother. We really appreciate you taking him serious.
I forget what his last name was, but yeah, definitely shout out Clay, because he definitely helped me get that replacement player, and helped me enjoy the DA2 yet again. It's such a cool player, and I want to put it out there that although we talk about things that could be worked on, we still recommend this device.
Oh, yes,
we
definitely.
do.
We
Not
recommend
everything's
this 100%.
perfect.
We still recommend this book player to you. it has. I mean, it's blown our minds. Just it's an upgrade. It didn't go like farther than it needed to, but it got the more modern feel. I think it nails that.
It
And
does, and you even get options now when you go to your NOS on the player. You can, you know, see the recent books. You can look at your wish list. You can do so much with this device that you couldn't do with it back in '09, and it's really taken a big step forward.
big step forward without
Really big step
like,
forward.
and they were rolling it out like, okay, we don't know who's all gonna be using the internet features, but I honestly recommend it for anybody, if regardless if you have internet. I think if you like the first player and you want a good upgrade, I think this is going to be the perfect one for you. You know, if you don't use the Wi-Fi features, don't feel like you're left out of getting a full upgrade for that player, because there's still new features that weren't there on the original player. So there's plenty of that for people who don't use internet. There's plenty of an upgrade there to warrant them maybe wanting to get that version. You
Right.
know?
Exactly. I agree on that. That's what made me get this device. I mean, I had heard about it before, but I was like, man, I want to try this out. And I'm happy my library actually sent me the device when they did, because
Yep, Nuris got hers like within 2 days, wasn't it, Nuris?
yeah, 2 days after. Because what happened was I had to call my people at the library because I had signed up for it even months before, way before it came out, and they told me I was one of the people that should have had gotten it, early, and for some reason they hadn't sent it. But then I talked to the guy that works in there, and they were like, "Okay, we'll send it to you." So they sent it 2 days later, and I was pretty happy.
Oh, man. I
I
mean,
wish I could say I was patient, but I wasn't.
yeah, Chase was bugging them every day. Like, I mean, I would call like a week apart, but I wouldn't bug them and just be like, and just call them every day. I'd be like, hey, have you got an update? You know,
Yeah, I would be calling them Monday through Friday at least 3 to 4
I
times.
had a
Hey,
lot of
well,
patience
no,
to
I
wait
wouldn't do
on
that,
them.
Chase. I would not do that, to be honest with
I
you.
don't. I ain't gonna do that no more.
I mean, I
It
only
was a
called
lot more
like a
time
week
consuming.
apart or so, or a few days apart, and
Right.
eventually, I got what I needed. So, I mean,
If you get the right person involved, like, they'll help you.
oh yeah,
Yes. And another thing I want to point out is with the battery status. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I love what they did.
The inaccurate battery status.
Yes.
Yeah.
When battery level 15%, it still says 8 hours. So my first logic
Also
to thinking,
depends on if you have a cartridge. Like, if you have a cartridge in there, or I've seen it also, like, if your player
even with
gets
flash drive,
below 50, even without flash drives or cartridge, like, if your player gets a below 50, it drains significantly faster. I think that needs to be addressed as well.
right.
it does. But I've noticed, I'm like, because I've done a test one day. I don't let it get below 15%
Right.
often. But when I
Me
was
neither.
listening to 11/22/63, for example, by Stephen King, I was not where I could get to it at the moment. It
Uh-huh.
alerted me and it said battery level 15%. And when it got down to 14%, it was still saying 7.5 hours left. So my first thing, and me being sarcastic, for those who don't know me, my sarcastic way I said to this is, so why are you alerting me when I practically have 7.5 hours of listening time?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
It's like, oh, well, your battery's low, but you still have 8 hours left. I just wanted to let you know your battery's low. I like how the original player did it with battery low when it was like less than 1 hour.
Yeah, man. Me too.
Mine went up to greater than 29 hours. And then somebody at my school, Balin Nuris,
Spelling.
yeah, she's like, it'll reach up to 60 hours. I said, what?
What? I've never seen
60?
I've never seen an NLS DA1 go up to 60 hours. I've seen it go
Me
greater
neither.
than 31.
Yeah.
But so, is there anything you would like to add, Chase?
Well, for those who want to know what time and date it is, you could check it on your player.
Yes.
You
There's a new
can-
clock feature. I love it. I'm glad
I
you
do
brought that
too.
up.
Best.
I'm trying to
Funny
think of
story.
everything to mention about this player that I think is so cool. And, like, give my honest thoughts on the player.
Yeah,
And
funny. Go ahead.
I think adding the clock was it was pretty cool, I gotta say. Like,
It
hey,
is
now you
cool.
can check your time on the player. No more trying to
Yeah.
look at your phone every time you need to know the time. Shoot,
Yep,
if you're
that's what I
listening,
do at night.
if you're
I check the
listening,
time.
if you're listening to a book, just press and hold the sleep button down.
Yep.
Yes.
What did that used to do on the original DA1? I think it enabled learning mode. Like if you had a
Yeah.
remote
Yes, it was
thing.
appendix learning mode. You press and held the sleep button for 5 seconds, and then to close it, you press and held the sleep button for 5 seconds. But now you have to actually go into menu and then
The
start
remote
assigning
system
everything.
is complete. Like they did a complete overhaul.
A big redesign.
They
Yeah.
absolutely did.
So if any of you guys use those for the player, you get a huge overhaul. Like you can bind different keys to certain buttons on the remote. It gets cool. It's pretty cool from what I hear of it.
That's amazing.
And it actually talks to you when you put in the cartridge and you put in the USB. I've even tried it. It was a USB inserted
Yep.
and a cartridge inserted.
It differentiates. Notice it differentiates the two.
It does.
Yes, because it's got 2 ports. It's got 2 sensors. I figured this out. It's got 2 sensors that are attached to a motherboard inside there.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
But overall, I think, honestly, we can all agree that it's a good device for everything that might be needed to be fixed. We all enjoy that.
And one
It
last
is.
thing I want to address is people saying that, oh well, I just have a Victor Reader stream. Why would I want one of these? Okay. Here is what I do not like about the Victor Reader stream. you still have to, like, you can sign in to NLS Bard, but then you have to go on your phone and get on the Bard app or website
And register it in.
and register the
Register.
Victor Stream 3 in. I think they should have allowed you, okay, you're signed in to the Bard website, you can download books freely, like, without having to go through all that stuff.
Right.
Exactly.
With the DA2, you don't have that problem.
No.
That's what I like so much about the DA2, and that's why I prefer it as far as listening to Bard books to the Victor Stream. There's some things I like doing on the Victor Stream better. Like, I think music on the stream is pretty good. Listening to other MP3 books. And the DA2 is good for that too. It just doesn't do it in... You're not getting the other books folders. Like, for example, on the stream, you're not getting other books, music.
Right.
You're not getting the folders that differentiate that. But you can still put a USB flash drive or a cartridge in. And if you have, like, MP3 podcasts, for example, you can listen to those on the DA2.
Oh, speaking of the DA2, there's a few more things I want to add that's cool. Where,
Okay.
say you have a flash drive and you're playing your music, by albums or whatever, you can actually browse through either folders, files, or the different albums on the device.
Yes. So
And that's really cool.
you can now look at, like, you can go from folder to folder and, like, not have to go through every single folder within that folder. So you have a level 1 and a level 2. I like that as well. There again, having a lot of the same software as the Victor Stream. So it's pretty much a Victor Stream minus your downloading podcasts and Bookshare and internet radio and stuff like that. And there's no record, there's no notes feature. But it's pretty much the same software, just in a bigger form factor and made for the Library for the Blind. And I think it serves it well. I really think it does.
And one more thing I'm going to say is, for those people that say, oh, why does it have to have an undo feature on the device, or they complain how the buttons are wiggly or whatever, I'm like, you know what? Like,
For people,
the older player had an undo feature as well.
yes,
so
it didn't say undo, but
it had
whenever you would go, say, to the beginning of the chapter you're at, but you wanted to go back to where you were, the original player had, so if you pressed the previous item button and then you press the next item button to go back to that chapter, you would hear the regular key beep plus a high-pitched beep to let you know you've returned back to that spot.
Yep.
So there was an undo feature in that. There was an undo feature in the old player. And
yeah, and
again, I think the undo feature was carried over from the stream, and that's why it says undo instead of having that high-pitched beep.
Right. And then your buttons are not going to break if you press them. I know a lot of people have been afraid of that, but it's not going to mess up on you.
It's not going to mess up on you.
Yeah, they move a little bit, but it's not going to damage.
It's the same material that they used on the original player.
Right.
I mean, it's
only
literally
way they break is if you did something to them.
the only thing is, it's like it's a new player. It's kind of made the same way, but the upgrade is there.
You could feel the difference on the design, that's for sure.
Yes.
And I like that now you have a handle on the left side of the player that you can hold it in.
Yeah, instead of having one collapse from the front, yeah.
Yeah, this is better because you don't have to have a collapsible and uncollapsible handle.
Right.
So yeah. My big recommendation is if you don't have a player yet, definitely get one because you're going to enjoy all the features of it. And if you don't use a certain feature, like we said earlier, don't feel bad. It's still a good device to use.
And if you don't, for some reason, you don't like the player, you can always keep your first advanced player. But we highly recommend you at least check out the second player because I think it's worth the upgrade.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I don't think anybody is like, I think everybody's on the same page there.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we definitely recommend this player. We recommend you get him. If your library contacts you about getting the new DA2 player, give this thing a shot.
Definitely, I agree on that.
And
if they don't call you, give them a call and they'll send it to you.
Another thing is, there's been some people that say, "Oh well, it's bulky." The first one was bulky. I will say the first one was pretty bulky, like as far like it was pretty heavy.
Mm-hmm.
This player, they have shrink the size of it. I was looking for the word there. So it is smaller. It's still in the same kind of form factor, but it's definitely
Smaller.
lighter in the hands.
It is.
Yes.
So I thought we would address that. And I think that about covers our review of the DA2 player.
I agree. It sure does.
I agree as well.
And if anyone has any questions for us, feel free to put them in the comments and we will respond as soon as we can.
Yes. Please put your thoughts in the comments. Contact your library if you want to get into using one of these things or checking it out, or if you want to upgrade yours. Without further ado, this is Skyler Jarvis, Nuris Coronado, and Chase Shepard signing off. Peace!
Peace!
Peace.
This is the